Okay guys, now we are going to see that in this third video of module 4 that how that general energy equation is going to modify in case of steady state process. So what is steady state process? That means if the process is executing a steady process, that means with respect to time, if the change is constant, any kind of change we can consider like the change in energy or change in mass, whatever you can think, that with respect to time any of the thermodynamic property is not going to be changed, it will be remain constant with respect to time. Suppose if we say steady velocity, that means with respect to time that velocity will be remain constant. If we say steady energy, steady flow of energy, that means what? That means change of energy will be remain constant with respect to time. Okay, that is the steady thing or steady flow or steady state process. Now many of the engineering devices are there in our mechanical engineering, like turbine or compressor or pump, nozzle, heat exchanger, condenser. These are different mechanical devices. Each of these device, obviously the working principle and the utility will be different. Now if we consider these engineering devices operates under a steady state condition, suppose we are considering all these devices operates under steady state condition, under steady state condition, then in the steady state condition how that general energy equation will be getting changed, that we are going to see over here. So already we have developed a general expression for a control volume in our earlier lecture. That derivation I am not going to utilize over here, just I am going to use that particular final form of the general energy equation. Okay, so mass flow into the control volume at a constant rate and leaves the control volume at a constant rate, that means at the same rate, that is the steady state condition. So basically if we write that thing, the steady state condition means what? The mass flow with respect to mass, if I consider, into the control volume at a constant rate, that means with respect to time at constant rate, and leaves the control volume at the same rate, that means the incoming rate and the outgoing rate both are same. What does this mean? That implies that there is no accumulation. So there is means inside the control volume there is no accumulation, of mass inside control volume. Why I am writing so? Because if this is mass flow in and mass flow out, if this is constant, then obviously there will be no accumulation of mass inside the control volume. Whatever is coming in, that also going out to the control volume. So we can obviously say that there is no accumulation at all. Okay, so that can be written like this manner, that mass flow. So thus if we write that thing in a mathematical way, so I can write that mass flow in or mass flow rate in with mass flow rate exit out, both are constant, so I can consider that like m dot only, because it is a steady state condition. mass flow rate is remaining constant. So if the mass flow rate is constant, so I can write that dm dt is 0. Change of mass with respect to time, obviously it is 0 while it is steady state. Similarly, for the energy also I can consider that thing. If the state is steady, then in terms of energy also we can write that dE dt, we can write dE dt, that means change of energy with respect to time, that is also being 0. Why? Because the state of matter at inlet and exit at any given point inside the control volume, it is not going to be changed with respect to time. Okay, so I can write the state of matter at inlet and exit at any given temperature, given time and any given time frame inside the control volume does not change with respect to time. That is the steady state condition. So that means dm dt and dE dt both can be written as 0, and mass dm dt is 0 means mass flow in and mass flow out both are constant, so they can be represented by m dot only, excluding the subscript part because they are constant. So if the change of energy is also constant, so similarly I can write that heat flow of rather say the q dot, that is the heat flow rate, q dot, that is also constant, there is no change, as well as work rate, that is w dot sh, that is also constant. All these are constant at steady state condition, mind it, that's why the steady state I have written over there. Okay, so while this condition comes like this, then we can write the final general energy equation. Now I can wipe it out from this side. While the steady state condition is applicable for the general energy equation, then how it will look now? It will look, initially we have derived the relation that general energy equation, whatever we have derived, that is nothing but dE dt, change of energy with respect to time, that is equals to q dot plus m dot I within bracket that enthalpy, or rather say specific enthalpy, then coming kinetic energy, specific kinetic energy, then coming that potential energy ZI, that is going for the heat, and then minus it will be coming with some m dot E, that is the exit part, He plus VE square by 2 plus ZZE, and obviously some work is there, W dot SH. That is the whole equation whatever we have derived from the last video, that dE dt can be written like this way. Now while we are going to substitute the information for steady state condition, then obviously I have just written dE dt will be 0, so obviously that term will be remain 0 now. Okay, and m dot I and m dot E both can be represented by only m dot because that is constant. So if we take m dot as a constant, so I can write like this, check the relationship, it will be written like this, V square by 2 plus ZZE minus, I am writing the inlet part HI plus Vi square by 2 plus ZZI, that is the inlet and exit part, and I am keeping that Q dot and work done at the same side. I haven't done anything special over here. Just what have I done? If it is 0, then that this part and this part I am taking left side, and Q dot and WSH I am keeping at the right side, nothing else. Just I have replaced that M dot I and M dot E with the help of M dot only, because for the steady state condition there is no change of mass. So that way I can write easily M dot, since M dot I, M dot E is equals to M dot, just I have mentioned earlier. So finally the equation can be written like this way, that HE plus V square by 2 plus ZZE, that is the exit energy, then HI plus Vi square by 2 plus ZZI, that is the inlet energy, that can be written Q dot minus W dot SH divided by M dot. That is the equation we can see which is applicable for open system, but if the process is at steady state condition, then that equation can be written. So this equation can be known as steady state steady flow energy equation. In short form, it is very popular in thermodynamics, SSSF equation. Steady state steady flow equation, or energy equation, rather say energy equation, that is very popular in thermodynamics. And how that equation look like, this is the form. This is the whole energy, total energy, specific energy at exit, total specific energy at inlet, heat rate minus work rate by mass flow rate. So that is the whole form which is applicable for all these devices if the process is steady state and steady flow. Now specifically for each of these device, I am going to clarify how this steady state steady flow energy equation is going to change. Obviously for each of the device this equation will be reduced, because some of the thermodynamic property is going to be 0. That's why it will be reduced in a short form for each of these devices. Now I am going to clarify that thing. Now here we can see that how the steady state energy equation can be applied for different devices, or rather say different flow devices. They all are open system minded. Like first we are considering a turbine. So turbine is a vast thing to study actually. Different subject is there, like steam turbine or gas turbine. Now from thermodynamics subject I am just going to give you a brief idea regarding turbine. Now in future, while you are going to study steam turbine or gas turbine, then it will be a much more wider scope to know all these things. Okay, so turbine is nothing but a work producing device. That means it produces some work. It can be run with the help of steam if it is a steam turbine. Also it can be run with the help of hot gases if it is a gas turbine. So either steam or gas, whatever is the working fluid, it is going to feed in the turbine, and turbine is nothing but a series of rotors are there, like a fan. whatever fan we are using in our domestic home, we can see there is a one set of rotor is there. Now if we couple multiple number of rotors with a series connection, that is known as a turbine. Obviously the blade geometry will be much more complex comparing with your ceiling fan, but the basic principle is that series of rotors, a series of blades is coupled with a single shaft, that is look like a turbine. Now in that turbine, that working medium, it can be a steam or it can be a hot gas. And what actually occurs inside the turbine, we assume the turbine is a adiabatic thing. That means the whole outer casing we consider that is completely insulated from the atmosphere or ambience. So that way we consider that there is no heat transfer is taking place. Okay, so you can consider that heat is not going to flow outside, that is heat transfer is zero. We consider that it is a complete adiabatic device. Okay, and I have written over here high pressure, high temperature steam or gas that is coming in, and low pressure, low temperature steam or gas that is going out. So that high pressure and the temperature is both going to fall or reduce inside this turbine. So that both of these energy is going to convert into mechanical energy. That's why in this particular shaft, that is the horizontal line is representation of a horizontal shaft, and I have given a rotational direction with W dot SH, that is shaft torque will coming out. Okay, so the enthalpy of the working medium, suppose if it is a steam, then the enthalpy of steam, and if it is a gas, obviously the steam and gas both will be coming in the turbine with a very hot condition. So high enthalpy will be coming in, and the enthalpy obviously while it is going out, the enthalpy will getting dropped. So the turbine is basically converts enthalpy into useful work. That means that enthalpy drop is converted into work, and steam of or gas at high temperature and pressure is allowed to expand through a series of rotors. That also I can write that steam or gas at high temperature and pressure is allowed to expand through a series of rotors. That two things obviously occurring inside the turbine, as well as we have considered that there is it is a adiabatic process. So that's why it is means the turbine expansion process. Basically inside the turbine there is a expansion process is going on. So that expansion process we consider that is a adiabatic process. So that way I can write that while the adiabatic process is executing, then I can write that heat transfer, that is Q dot, obviously will be remain 0 because there is no heat transfer we considered. And one assumption we can consider that change of kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy and potential energy of steam or gas as it passes through the turbine can be ignored. Can be ignored because if we ignore them, then there will be not any bigger effect if we ignore these two terms. That means the kinetic energy of the incoming fluid and the kinetic energy of the outgoing fluid, the difference between them, that is the change. Mind it. I am not ignoring the kinetic energy. I am ignoring the change in kinetic energy as well as change in potential energy. If I ignore both of this term, then it will not put any big effect to the output because the change is very less. That's why I can ignore both of this change in kinetic energy and change in potential energy. Basically the turbine will be resting at a same horizontal surface, so that way the potential energy change will be very minimum, as well as kinetic change of kinetic energy also is very minimum. That's why I can ignore both of these terms. So if we do all these assumptions, or then on that general energy equation, or rather say steady state steady flow energy equation, how it changes, so I can write steady state steady flow energy equation is look like He plus V square by 2 plus ZZE minus Hi plus Vi square by 2 plus ZZi equals to Q dot minus W dot SH divided by M dot. That is the steady state steady flow energy equation. Now if we substitute all these assumptions, obviously this term will be remain 0. Then the kinetic change in energy and that means this one and that one, they can be ignored. So this term, that term can be ignored, as well as potential energy change also can be ignored. So final form of this steady state steady flow energy equation look like this now. He, that is the specific enthalpy at exit part, and the specific enthalpy at inlet, that is the drop in enthalpy, is nothing but minus W dot SH by M. Now what this means? This means drop of enthalpy. Drop of enthalpy, or rather say drop of specific enthalpy. Specific enthalpy. And that is nothing but, we can say that W dot SH by M. What does this mean? That means work done per unit mass. So this means work done per unit mass. How it is coming? Because W dot SH means what? W dot SH means work done per unit time. And sorry, M dot will be there. M dot means mass flow rate per unit mass, that is mass per unit mass. So mass per unit time. So W dot SH, it is nothing but work done per unit time. Similarly, M dot, I can say mass per unit time. So this both of this time will be remain cancelled. If we divide them both, time will be remain cancelled. As a output, I can get W by M. That means work done per unit mass, that I have written over here. Okay. So if we write W dot SH by M dot, that is nothing but specific work. Specific work means work done per unit mass, isn't it? So specific work for a turbine is equal to nothing but enthalpy drop, that is exit enthalpy minus inlet enthalpy. Obviously exit enthalpy is lesser than inlet enthalpy because the fluid coming inside the turbine, it is having high enthalpy, while it is going out, enthalpy will be getting dropped. That's why always He less than Hi, so it will give you a negative result. That's why one negative is also reflecting at the right side also, so that way they can be equate. Okay, so while that He less than Hi, that will give you a negative value, and that's why negative is already there, mind it. Okay, so finally we can say that the work done, or rather say the specific work for a turbine, can be written by, or I can convert this expression by Hi minus He. If we make it a positive side, then it will be like this. Specific work of turbine can be written incoming enthalpy minus outgoing enthalpy. Now we are going to apply that same process or same procedure for another device, which is compressor.